listening to the Post-Apocalyptic Media Podcast. If it's post-apocalyptic, we're talking about it.
All right, welcome to this special edition of the Post-Apocalyptic Media Podcast. We are joined with Shawn the Scavenger.
Hey, how you doing?
And Stephanie the Scribe.
Hello.
And I'm your host, Derek, the Diligent. And I'm here to tell you everything that's happening in the world of post-apocalyptic media this week, the coming couple weeks. We've got the news. So if you are interested in keeping up with what is current, what movies are coming out, what TV shows are airing, new stuff, games, Kickstarters, the whole shebang, subscribe to this podcast because that's kind of our wheelhouse. Getting started right off the bat, let's go ahead and preview what we're going to be discussing today. Shawn, what's on your agenda today?
Well, my agenda is just pointing out the fact that we all have hats on. And I wish I would have known you were all wearing glasses because I would have worn my glasses too, but I'm not going to do that. No, my agenda is I want to talk about some of the latest posts that I've been making over at the site at postapocalypticmedia.com. And so just recently I've done a couple on some upcoming shows. Like one that really caught my attention, I wrote this most recently this morning, was a movie called Girl with No Mouth. It's like an indie movie and it's Turkish. It's out of Turkey, and that's not a connection to Thanksgiving, I promise. And sorry, and so I think it looks like a really cool movie. I covered the trailer in the YouTube roundup.
I noticed that. Yeah.
It was like 2 weeks ago. And I've noticed that everyone is talking about this movie. When I do a search, I have searches set up for post-apocalyptic and, certain keywords here and there. And it just kept coming up. So I said, well, let me check out more, see if I can figure out more. Well, it's really hard to find English reviews on it because it hasn't been released yet in North America. But of course, it's been released in Europe back in February. In Turkey, especially. So, some like British reviewers were able to check it out. So
February.
I found, it's been a while. Yeah.
It's December now. So
I know. It's like it took a while to get over here across the pond. But anyway, it seems like a really cool movie. It's basically this girl who doesn't have a mouth, and that's it. That's the entire movie. No, it's
surprising.
It's she meets up with some people. One kid doesn't have ears. One kid doesn't have a nose. One kid doesn't have eyes. It's kind of like see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. But like I pointed out in the post, there's also the nose guy. So I guess it's like smell no evil too. I don't know what that's about, but it looks really cool. I'm definitely going to check it out. It's supposed to come out on the 8th, which is like a week.
Oh wow!
So it's not out, not too far out to check out. I don't know where it's coming exactly. They don't list anywhere. I tried looking everywhere to see if it would be on like Netflix or Amazon or whatever. I can't find anything. I imagine it's going to be maybe like like Fandango and sites like that usually have brand new movies that recently with the video on demand stuff they've been taking theater movies that would ordinarily be going to the theater and putting them straight on video on demand. So maybe that would be a site I'll check out. But anyway, I definitely want to check it out. It looks really cool.
Yeah. And it looks really cool. It looks well done. It doesn't look like a cheap indie film to me.
Yeah. The director has done a couple other horror movies before. One was called Housewife. And I think he did one, let's see, I don't remember what the other one was called. But he did a couple. Baskin was the other one. Baskin, I saw a preview for that. I didn't see anything about Housewife, but Baskin is I read some reviews on it too. I haven't seen either of them, but it's a very like weird horror movie, like crazy, which I love. So I have to check that out. And So a lot of people in the reviews that I've read for this movie have said that it's not quite as weird. It's not quite as gory and everything as, as his regular horror movies, but it's more of like a family friendly because it stars basically all kids. So that'd be interesting to see like a horror director making a more family friendly movie. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be, it's definitely post-apocalyptic. These kids, they suffered these losses of their physical attributes from some kind of toxic explosion, they call it, from this company called the Corporation. They just call them the Corporation, that's all. And the Corporation, basically, the premise of the whole movie is this corporation kind of ruined these kids and this whole generation of children. And a couple of them escaped. And what they wanted to do was kind of go through and eliminate these children because they didn't want a bad reputation. This corporation didn't want a bad reputation. So they were going to eliminate all the children. And they were doing it successfully, but a couple of them escaped. So they have to go out and try to find these kids to kind of clean up their, mistake or whatever. So that's a pretty crazy premise, I think. And so these kids they joined up together. It's kind of like Wizard of Oz. Like they find each other one by one down the line, and then they get together and I don't know if they beat the corporation or I don't know what happens at the end, but it seems pretty cool,
Wow.
and the visuals are amazing.
That's given how you've described the plot, it does kind of sound like a Wizard of Oz kind of a spin.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's what I took from it.
I keep getting stuck trying to think how someone survives if they have no mouth and they can't eat.
Yeah.
Do they have like an IV with them all the time?
They do say in one of the reviews that she shows how she eats and everything with no mouth.
Interesting.
So I don't know. Maybe it might be an IV kind of thing, but I don't know.
It's too bad it's not like a Fallout 76 style mutation where like you lose one aspect, you have bird legs, but now you can jump 14 feet in the air.
Yeah. Pro and con, yeah. Yeah, that would be nice. But yeah, I'm definitely going to check this out. I think it looks really interesting.
You still playing Fallout 76, Shawn?
Yeah, we still play. Actually, I'll be playing after we record this.
Fun.
I'm about up to not quite level 20 yet because I think I'm 18 because that new Steel Dawn content came out and I'm not able to play it yet because you have to be level 20. So hopefully this week I'll get to level 20 and we'll be able to play the, meet the Brotherhood of Steel and all that stuff. And I'm excited about that.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. Last week they actually released that Steel Dawn content a week early. I don't know if you knew about that, but they accidentally did it from what I hear. It might have been a
really
publicity stunt. I don't know, but they said they accidentally released it a week early, so everybody was jumping on it and going crazy for it. So
funny.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I'm enjoying that.
All right. Well, that was less a preview and more of your topic, but
sorry, I don't stop once I start.
Let's talk about a few other announcements here at the top, just so that people get the gist of the announcement. By the way, if you want to be up to date, first of all, yes, subscribe to this podcast because we're bringing it straight to your ear holes. Put it on. I put it on in the shower, and I just get caught up with stuff, while I'm taking care of business. And
TMI.
So do that, but also we have a calendar. So check out our calendar. We're proud of it. We put a lot of effort into it, and on our calendar, if you look at that, what you're going to see is that coming up in December, we got some stuff. We got that girl with no mouth situation going on here in just a couple days. But we also have a huge show, with The Stand coming out this month.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Now they have who do they have? They have Oprah. Is Oprah on it? I wanted to say it was Oprah, but I'm just kind of guessing. They got some big stars.
What's her name? Can't think of her name. Yeah, I know who you mean. It's not Oprah.
It's not Oprah. Ah, well, you should get Oprah The Stand if you're listening to this.
Sorry, not thinking. I was thinking about the male lead. The male lead is the guy who played like Cyclops on. I can't remember his name, right? Or am I getting him mixed up?
You're talking about Sarsgaard? What's his name?
No.
Where?
No, I'm talking about Cyclops from X-Men, like way back.
Okay.
I will just pull it. I will just pull it up. James Marsden. That's who I was talking about.
Yes.
He is the lead. Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, it's Whoopi. Okay. Sorry, Whoopi.
Derek.
I don't actually confuse you with Oprah. I just knew it was a very popular person.
But Alexander Skarsgård is in it. Okay, yes.
Yeah, he's Randall Flagg.
Yeah, that's huge. And we've got Amber Heard, and yeah, we've got some big names.
Who's Amber Heard?
Eon Bailey. Well, Amber Heard is like a big actress who was in Aquaman, and has all.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, and sorry, Eon Bailey is a Hallmark actor, and he's in this too. Apparently, there are. Wow.
All right, so they have a budget.
Lots
the
of
Stand has a budget.
Yes, a big budget apparently.
Yeah. They're spending it. What's it? CBS All Access? Is that what we're having to? All right, so
we're having to pay for it. Extra.
Yeah, one of 20 streaming services now available.
Yeah.
Is that now? I was thinking of Peacock with CBS All Access. There's no like commercial option where you can just like endure the commercials and watch it for free. You're gonna have to pay.
I don't think so.
Some of they'll do like 2 weeks later or a week later episodes for free on CBS.
Huh.
Okay.
But they won't do like the most recent one for free. And then they won't even let it sit for too long. Like you have like a week to watch it and then they make it pay. I don't they have a weird way.
All right. So show your friends how rich you are by discussing the current week's The Stand. Also coming out it really soon, unless they delay it again, is Cyberpunk 2077.
Woo!
We have
so excited.
An article coming out soon that's going to be asking the question, is Cyberpunk 2077 post-apocalyptic? And hint, there is a clue. The fact that we're talking about Cyberpunk 2077 right now maybe can clue you in. But it's going to be, whether or not it's post-apocalyptic, it's worth talking about because it's so, I'm saying this before it launches, but I've seen enough footage from the game to know this is going to be one of those games that makes a mark in the industry. It's innovative in a big way. Like, I felt Fallout 3 was kind of this innovative game where they took a first-person shooter and they made it an RPG in a way that I'd never experienced before. Mm-hmm. And I think that CD Projekt Red, the maker of this game, they made Red Dead Redemption. No, they didn't. That was Rockstar. They made Witcher 3, which was huge. And, this is just ratcheting it up another notch. It's exciting. And every day I check to see if I can buy the new video game systems, and they're all still sold out. So if you're checking in on that news, that's the news as far as that goes. There is an app called Octo. I think it's called Octo Shop. And this little app, it's just like an extension that you can install in your browser and set it to watch stock for you. They, in fact, wrote this app. I think it does more than that. It's actually helped me save some money in some other things that I was about to buy. And it was like, hey, you should save $30 if you go buy it over here. So that's kind of their scheme, I think. I think they make some money from directing you to go buy it somewhere else. But it also has that feature where it watches stock. So if you're in the market for a new console, you can't wait till they're, ubiquitous, which is a big word that I think means common.
Sure.
Then check that out. Octoshop. Somebody on Reddit talked about it. So if you just go to Reddit and say the word Octoshop really loud, and you'll probably find it. That's the big. Are there any other big announcements for the month of December that I'm leaving out?
Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Holy cow! Yes.
So excited.
Yeah, it's coming out in Japanese this month.
Yes.
So
with the subtitles.
if you're one of the unfortunate few who do not know Japanese, you might have to wait for a little while. Shawn's still working through.
I think there
Duolingo.
will be subtitles.
What did you say, Steph?
I think the subtitles will be out, right?
Okay, I don't know. I'm
looking it up for a story coming up pretty soon, but I haven't written it yet. So
a story for our website.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
yes.
Good. Well, that's just one more reason. Hey, if you're with our calendar and you're also subscribed to the podcast, we've still got more things we're asking you to do, and that is sign up for the email thing. We've got an email thing on our website, and you put your email in there, and what we do with it is we take it and we have like a little online auction to advertisers, data brokers, and they get the information and it helps us out. But also we're going to send you an email every month, and it's going to contain all of our articles.
You're just checking to see if people are listening, aren't you? Like, what? Right?
Just leaving my options open.
Yeah.
Actually, we vow on our website, and I stick to my vows. We vow that we won't do that. We don't sell your information. That's not what we're in it for, really.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that. If you get spam after signing up for our email list, then it's not our fault. It's
probably spam from somewhere else, not us.
Legally, I want to be on the record for that. Yeah, it's probably one of your enemies. Have you ever just like all of a sudden you got a ton of spam from different places and you're like, who did I tick off?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a thing.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
You ever done that to someone, Shawn?
No, but back in my day, we would sign people up for magazines. It's kind of the same thing.
Yes.
Well, okay, so we got Attack on Titan. What's that like? That's like in a week. That's like
it's coming up really
9th
fast.
or 10th probably.
Something like that, yeah.
So yeah,
it's exciting.
7th, according to our calendar.
Oh no, I better get on those stories.
So tune in for that. Anything else?
It looks like a lot, actually. We have, just going down the list, The Walking Dead World Beyond finale.
Okay.
Also, Alice in Borderland, which is another foreign language film that's coming to Netflix. That's on the 10th. Let's see what else. The Stand, you already mentioned. Oh, the Dune movie.
What?
On the 18th.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Dune movie?
The Dune movie on the 18th.
That. Make sure it wasn't
Wait. Scratch that, because I think they changed it.
Yeah, I thought they changed it too.
They changed it to, April, something like that? I think, I do remember them saying that.
I mean, I feel like, now it's listed as a 2021 film. It's releasing in October.
Oh,
the original release date was going to be December 18th, so
yeah,
bummed.
So scratch that.
What
I got you all excited for now.
Yeah, you did. You really ruined the mood, Shawn. Thank you. What about the Snyder Cut? Are we ever going to get that?
The what?
2021.
Oh.
They keep pushing it up. But now I'm hearing like they're reshooting stuff, and it's almost like a whole new movie that they're making.
Oh, interesting. Okay. That'll be really fun.
Yeah, and that includes Doomsday, right? So it's apocalyptic in its own way.
Yeah. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
If I remember right from the Doomsday thing, is Doomsday like killed everybody, all of his people. He just killed them all.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm confusing that with somebody else, but video game or comic book nerds out there, please in the comments. Tell me what's up with Doomsday. And okay, so we have that. Go ahead.
Well, we do have one more.
Oh,
A big one for December is The Midnight Sky, the one with George Clooney.
that is a big one.
You know that the one where he's like a researcher in the Arctic and telling that this guy's in space not to come back because the Earth has been destroyed. I want to see that. That's going to be on Netflix too.
I'm super excited about that one.
Yeah, Netflix is killing it. They've got everything.
Man, yeah, I'm excited to write the 2021 Netflix streaming top 10 list because it's going to be a very competitive year.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Speaking of the top lists, we have a 2020 is coming to a close, and we are going to be listing what the top TV show is of the year, the top movie of the year. We're getting all of our heads together here as writers for Post-Apocalyptic Media and fighting it out.
Doing like our own awards show.
Right. We need to have some pit battles because those happen in every single post-apocalyptic series.
That's true.
Best pit fight.
There's a topic.
I think who did the best pit fight this year? Did we
what
have
pit fights happened this year?
Did we have a Snowpiercer pit
The 100 had a pit fight. Oh, I bet.
Does it count for people fighting over toilet paper? Like in Walmart?
Yes, we can include toilet paper fights and pit fights. That's perfect. Yes, Derek, make a note of that, please.
You know, before I get into speaking of toilet paper, it did remind me that we usually deal in fiction with what we talk about, but there are some real world apocalyptic, questionable things going on right now. Shawn, you wrote a story about a new proposal to, just block out the sun a little bit.
Yeah. It's funny. There's these scientists in South Africa, and they decided, and I titled the post, these scientists who have never seen Snowpiercer are proposing to basically do the plot for Snowpiercer. So they want to put sulfur dioxide, like reflective material in the sky, in the stratosphere, to block out the sun. And they think that somehow this is going to work selectively, where it's just going to block certain parts of the sun, or like not enough, And I don't understand how that's going to work, but they're still at the stage where they're seeking funding for it. So hopefully they don't get that funding. Hopefully this is not a real thing. But it's crazy to think that they believe that throwing sulfur dioxide in the air and like blocking out part of the sun is going to help. I mean, what they're trying to do is they're trying to help with droughts, because South Africa had some of the worst droughts in the last few years, and they believe that blocking out the sun will help with that and help with soil retention and things like that. But like, man, that's a crazy. It's like one of those things. What could go wrong? Well, everything could go wrong.
Like, why can't we just go back to trying to like create rain? Because that seems at least a little safer than blocking out the sun. Although I'm sure it will have repercussions also.
Yeah. Back in the old days, they like shot cannons up in the air to try to blow open clouds, but and that was crazy. But this might be a little more. I don't know.
Geoengineering, it does seem like we're playing with things that are above us in our understanding, and I think that in a lot of ways we are. However, I will say there is currently efforts to eliminate mosquitoes from this world, and I am all for it. I really, if the ecological system is a Jenga tower, and and they're like, let's remove that little mosquitoes piece, I'm saying, it's worth the risk. I think we can do it calmly. And
I mean, they spread so many diseases, right? Like they're not like bees where they spread good things by flying around. They just spread disease. I mean, I don't know how many I guess the only thing it might affect is like if there's a lot of reptiles or amphibians or
Like
birds
bats.
that rely on mosquitoes. Oh, bats.
Yeah.
Bats,
Would bats
birds,
have enough
spiders.
to eat?
Probably not. They eat like thousands of mosquitoes like
Uh-oh.
a night or
And
whatever.
what
it is.
happens if bats disappear? That might be... I mean,
The-
we won't
yeah.
have COVID. We really don't know if COVID came from bats. Could have come from that other animal, or who knows. But
Yeah.
that I feel like losing bats could have a bad repercussion. I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's
Worth
funny
it.
because I actually was just teaching my daughter an ecology class that we're learning about the balance of nature and the balance of predator versus prey and all that stuff. So it's so funny that we're talking about this now because it's like, that's a good point. Like, what would die off if we got rid of mosquitoes? Huh?
What do you think, Shawn? Do you think it would be safe to get rid of mosquitoes in light of your expertise?
I feel like everything is here for a reason. If we were to take one, like you said, Jenga piece out, it would just be like, I think the tower would fall or something. I don't know. It'd be
Interesting.
scary.
Push back
Like
on
things we
that
didn't even think about.
on a little bit. As we lose a lot of species, and we have
Yeah.
thousands and thousands. Since we've been alive, I would say. I'm just gonna say that, even though I don't have any any actual knowledge of it. I've never seen like the last of its kind. Like this is the last of that turtle or something. But
The dodo bird.
I believe it. I believe
Yeah.
that we're losing things. But I say that, but at the same time, like, what is as ubiquitous as mosquitoes? Not a lot. It's like, we can't... Removing ants is a little bit different than removing one of 200 species of hawk or something. It's just a different gravity when it comes to the Jenga tower. But yeah, I think,
Interesting.
we're finding out they're eliminating. I think they did it on like an island where they were able to, they basically genetically alter the mosquitoes in such a way that they spread this gene through their gene pool and it causes them not to be able to reproduce anymore. They're in testing right now on smaller ways, but they're trying to get it done in Florida. And if you're asking me, go for it. We do need the bees, and we need bats. I don't know. Maybe we need bats.
Probably.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting little trivia note about bats that I just learned yesterday that has nothing to do with the apocalypse, but is still interesting. Did you know, bats carry rabies, but rabies does not exist in Australia. However, Australia has another virus that is basically rabies that comes from bats called the Lissa virus, which I'm probably mispronouncing. And I just found that very interesting. It is related, but it's not rabies. So it's like nature finds a way kind of thing, no matter what. Like that type of virus has to exist. I just found that interesting.
Wow.
Little trivia note for you.
Well, rabies isn't a little bit related to what we talk about, because I think the whole zombie genre
Yes.
is points to rabies.
Yeah.
You got
I think you're right.
These animals, they lose their minds. They don't
They
know
start trying to bite
anything,
other
but they try to bite. Yeah,
Creatures.
yeah.
Yeah.
They turn into cannibals, I guess. I'm not a rabies expert either.
No, I think it fits. I do. I know more about rabies than I wish I knew. 'Cause it's scary. I mean, thank God we have vaccines for rabies, because that's terrifying. And it can come back and get you. Like, you can get scratched by a bat and then like 10 years later, oh, look, surprise, rabies.
What?
So, yeah, it can sometimes take a long time to show up. So I'm just saying that if you get scratched by a bat, or if you find a sick bat that you don't think scratched you, but just get the rabies vaccine. Just don't risk it. It's like 99.9% fatality, so it's just not worth it.
All right, so trust check here. Shawn, do you believe what she just said about about rabies?
Yes. You don't?
It doesn't smash smell. It doesn't. It doesn't smash the smell test.
Let's see if I can.
What? You can have rabies for 10 years?
I mean, I am Googling it. It
Yes,
has to travel
consult
through your
the Google.
body into your brain. And of course, the first thing that comes up is like a rabies for kids website. I'm like, you're not going to tell us this here, guys. Well,
Rabies for
okay,
kids? What?
I don't know. Like the CDC here is saying that the incubation period can be weeks to months.
Okay, now I don't believe her
it says
anymore.
it depends on where you were bitten and how long it takes to reach the brain. It said it can be within a short period of 3 to 5 days. It says, oh no, that's how long it takes in animals. Like an infected animal, it can take 3 to 12 weeks from the time it was bit and how long it takes to travel through the spinal cord into the brain. CDC has humans for months, but it doesn't give like a number.
All right.
And then there's OSH, a Canadian site, who is saying in rare cases it can vary from 10 days to 2 years. So my 10-year thing might have been a little bit of an exaggeration.
Yeah,
I appreciate
it's-
that Derek fact checks me. But it could be up to 2 years, guys. So
All right.
Scary.
So that just goes to show if you listen to half our podcast, you might walk away with the wrong conclusions. So you got to listen to the end where we do a fact check. 2 years, that's still a long time. But moving on. Okay, so yeah, we're going to do best post-apocalyptic movie of the year, best post-apocalyptic TV show of the year. We're going to be talking about video games, books. We're going to figure it out. We'll put it out there. You may not agree with it, and you don't have to. But you might see something in there that you haven't checked out yet, and at least you'll know that the people who spend a lot of time in this genre thought it was worth checking out. So,
Us.
like us. Now, bringing that up, let's talk about the best post-apocalyptic TV show of 2020, because this is actually a really competitive field, and whatever we pick, we're going to be leaving out some good ones. Mm-hmm. So, Shawn, why don't you go ahead and go first and tell us what your pick is?
Well, I feel like I have not seen every TV show. Like, TV shows aren't my strong point. It's usually movies. I know. Can you believe it? And so my vote is for Battlestar Galactica. No, just kidding. Of the ones I've seen, and of the ones that have started this year, Snowpiercer would take it for me, because I really enjoyed that. But, I haven't seen Raised by Wolves, and I've heard amazing things about that. All my friends are watching it, and they're all like, you have to watch this. So, that's another one. I really enjoyed C, but I think C came out about a year ago, November of last year.
yeah, like
so that
November,
wouldn't really
December.
count.
Clarifying, the best new post-apocalyptic TV series, or just the best one?
No, I think the best new one of this year.
Okay, so we're counting out C. We're counting out the 100, which did their final season.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're going to have categories for stuff like that. Maybe, best season or best episode or something like that, which would include, older shows. But for this one specifically, it's, best ones that started this year. And so that's why I'd probably pick Snowpiercer.
Just the new ones. Did War of the Worlds, was that 2020 or was that 2019?
Oh, that's a good question. I want to say late 2019, and we just didn't watch it until 2020. But as we just saw a few minutes ago with my rabies thing, I could be wrong.
Oh yeah, and Westworld can't be a part of it because it didn't just start.
Yeah.
So, Steph, what is your... Okay, so wait, before we move on, Shawn says it's Snowpiercer.
Yeah, with a possible Raised by Wolves side.
with on faith.
Shaking my
Yeah,
head at
yeah.
Shawn right now. You're listening. Mm-mm. But that's
No.
okay because I'm about to do the same thing.
All right, Steph, what's your number one?
I'm gonna put Raised by Wolves. I would put Snowpiercer as a close second, but I liked Raised by Wolves. There's a lot of mystery to it. A lot of some unexpected things. Like I kept thinking I knew exactly where the plot was going, and then it went somewhere else, and that was fun. Derek is shaking his head at me right now, so I don't know. For those who can't see,
When I watch Ridley Scott, I don't know where anything is going ever.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
just-
right.
Just
So
there.
yeah, my vote is Raised by Wolves. I had fun writing some stuff about it for here. So yeah, that's my pick.
All right. So just to demonstrate how much diversity we have in our group, if you didn't already know, because we did we have an article of top TV shows of all time in the post-apocalyptic genre, in which all three of us weigh in, and it's very different lists. Same for movies. Movies, we had a little bit more overlap. However, still very, very different lists. You can find those on our website. And in this case, I did watch Snowpiercer. Loved it. Loved Snowpiercer. I watched Raised by Wolves, and I really enjoyed it. And I have to say, I don't think either of them are the best one of the year. For me, it's Brave New World. Now, yeah,
It's a good one.
If you're looking for a good show you can watch with your parents, watch with your kids, maybe not Brave New World.
No, definitely not.
The explicit content in there, just a little too much. And I'm not talking violence. I'd watch violent stuff with my parents or kids. This is a little different, but I don't know. Maybe you have a weird relationship with your parents. I call it weird. If you can watch Brave New World with your parents, it's a good kind of weird. But it is so out there. This dystopian society that you're introduced to. It's really innovative and futuristic. And you never know where it's going. It's just, I mean, maybe you do because you read the books or something. I'm completely oblivious. I know it's a dystopian thing, and I've heard quotes from Brave New World, but that's about all of my exposure up until I watched the series. But yeah, I think that I think it deserves number one. So I don't know how we're gonna fight this out. This is a serious disagreement we're having.
Yeah.
Pit fight, socially distanced pit fight. I don't know.
There you go.
With masks.
Yeah.
Show up in Fallout 76 and battle it out with your characters.
That would be fun. That would be fun. I think I'm still ahead of Shawn's character right now. So
Yeah.
so
Don't
let's
even
definitely
get
do
my
that.
character that I played one time involved. I lose every time.
Which, by the way, quick tip for Fallout 76: try the cannibalism route. Cannibalism allows you to eat all the time, so long as you're doing combat.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Finding food and keeping well fed is actually a challenge in Fallout 76, which I like. I like that aspect of it. But then I realized that I can just eat people, and if I really don't care about the social consequences of that, it works out pretty well.
I did not know that was an option.
Yeah, in Fallout 3, Fallout 4, New Vegas, all that stuff, there was cannibalism, but it was more of just hey, look, I'm eating people. It's funny. But like in 76, it's you actually have health meter or food meters and stuff, and so yeah, it makes sense. I didn't even think about that.
All right, so we've got a lot to sift through. A lot of movies, a lot of TV shows. I didn't even mention there are some really good shows like Umbrella Academy. Didn't start out this year, but it's going to be in the contention for for the best season. I guess we should make that a separate category because we've got Walking Dead, 3 different versions of Walking Dead.
World Beyond is new this season, so it would be a contender for new series.
Oh,
yeah.
yes. Yeah, and we need to catch up on that. We're actually behind several episodes. It's really hard to keep up with everything going on, but we need to. We didn't quit it because it was boring.
It was good.
Yeah.
Well, we saw so far.
So stay tuned for that, and be ready with your keyboards to argue with us in the comments. Let us know where we're wrong, what we forgot, what we left out. People sometimes will put in a comment in there, and I'll be like, I didn't even see that show, and I'll add it to my list because they told me about it. So be aware of that. Let's see. We have obelisks appearing all over the world right now, and those are
crazy.
Those are what? Those are PR stunts or something?
That's a great question. I'm working on a story about that for our site.
Lizard people, maybe.
We only have 2 so far. 2 monoliths, one in Utah that could have been around for as long as since 2015, but was just recently discovered. So there is some debate about. There's one artist in the area. He died in 2011. But he used to do things kind of similar to that monolith, and apparently some expert said that even though it first showed up on Google Earth in 2015, it could have been around for like decades prior. So some people think maybe it was that artist, but we've just discovered it. Utah officials, while they were counting goats, just discovered it this month, and then 10 days later some people came, 4 guys came in the cover of darkness and took it away. They pushed it over, they broke it into pieces, according to a guy who was there and took a photo. So it's gone now. And then another one appeared in Romania, near an archaeological site that apparently is pretty famous. I'm not going to even try to pronounce any of these names because I will get them wrong. You can read them when my story is up. And that one was up for 4 days, and then it too disappeared. Somebody took it. We don't know who. So yeah, that's the big question, Derek. Is it a marketing scheme for something? Maybe.
Kind of looks like the Fifth Element
just artists
thing.
Yeah.
A little obelisk thing they have to put into the slot.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of fun. I also learned while looking that up that there was one in 2001 in Seattle that got a lot of attention and was moved from one location to another, and a whole lot of people were interested in it. And it turned out to just be a fun thing that a group of artists in Seattle decided to do. And there was nothing it wasn't even for marketing or anything. There was no deeper meaning. As far as I've seen so far, it was just a fun thing about, group about 4 people first came up with the idea, and about 50 people joined in and helped make it happen. And the guy who was involved in that now works at Microsoft and one of the lead guys, and he announced on Facebook this week that he is not involved in the current Monolith deal. That is not involving him at all. So, so there you have it.
A likely story.
Yeah. I'd believe the story that it's an artist, especially the Utah one. And then the fact that I heard that they cut the other one up. You said they cut it up in pieces. I heard they left a triangle piece of it there.
Oh, yes. There is a photo of that.
Yeah. So I don't think the people who cut it down are associated with the original person. I think these are just, we have to look on eBay and see if we find pieces of monolith. I feel like it's just someone who is opportunist, taking it down.
That's interesting. Wouldn't that be funny if they ended up selling it? That's a good prediction. Yeah, maybe the people in Romania did the same thing for all I know. Interesting.
You can't have anything nice these days.
Right?
Selling it on eBay.
Apparently there are a lot of complaints too because they tried to keep the location of it secret, but of course people found it, and then tons of people were coming out there, and other people weren't very happy about that. So
yeah.
Well, that wraps it up for this week. We have episode coming to you we record the episodes on a different day, but the episodes drop on Fridays, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So everybody, make sure you look at your podcast app and subscribe to this one, and you'll get new, fresh content every Friday, letting you know before the weekend starts what you should be on the lookout for and what kind of post-apocalyptic media content, games, movies, shows are on the horizon. I just want to thank you for tuning in and remind everybody to stay safe out there and always be ready for the big one. My name's Derek, and this is Shawn and Stephanie.
Bye.
Signing off.
Bye.